Continuing on with our 2021 SBLive Washington virtual media days, spotlighting high school boys and girls programs across the state. I'm Dan Dickau alongside Andy Buhler. This guest from the Tri-Cities area in southeastern Washington from Kamiakin High School, Brian MeNeely. Thanks for joining, Coach. You guys have got to be excited, ready to get going because you're one of the last districts or regions in the state that finally get to go ahead to go.
Yeah, I mean, kids are fired up, man, and we're really happy. Obviously, we were really nervous about what the governor was going to say this week, and we've been practicing, but it's been about 3 to 4 weeks now that we've been practicing while sharing kids with other sports. And so spring sports are going to finish out this week, and we'll finally get all of our kids all the time, just in time to play a game on Tuesday. But we don't care. We just want to play.
I've heard that same thing from coaches and players as we've been holding these virtual interviews with programs that they just want to play. And the games are going to come fast and furious. You're going to be playing a lot out of concepts as opposed to maybe full indoctrination to the philosophy of the program. You've got some good pieces returning. Tyler Bilodeau, you mentioned off camera before we got going, you've got a really nice wing who can shoot it a little bit in Trey Arland, and then you've got another big in Messiah Jones. Give us a little idea about what your team's going to look like this year.
Well, we're fortunate. We got a lot of great experience and had a lot of young kids last year. We got 5 of 8 back from a team that went to the Tacoma Dome and took 6th. And Messiah Jones's leadership as a senior has been tremendous. We're talking about a 6'6" kid that went toe to toe with Tyson Degenhart from Mount Spokane and in the regional championship. And I don't know if you ever give it to Tyson Degenhart because he's a pretty good player, but it was fun to watch them play against each other. They were definitely having a ball, and it was fun to watch play. But Messiah his leadership this year's just been awesome. And with the experience that both Trey and Tyler had last year, and then building on that in the off season, it was an exciting, going into the off season, it was going to be very exciting to know that what we had coming back. And it's been a long wait to see us take the floor, but we sure are excited, and we're very fortunate that we have some pieces to be able to work through and play through. So we just got to make sure we keep the floor spaced and let kids play.
Last season, you guys were big. Size was an advantage, and like you said, making it to the Dome and placing 6th, really repping the try when you did it. For this group to and key members of this group to have that experience of playing in the Tacoma Dome and making a run, how valuable is that, and how much has that empowered them, especially with this long off season?
Yeah, I think with success comes both good and bad, because you get some great experiences and you get to taste what it's like to get there, and you get until you get there and experience playing against that level of competition, you just cannot simulate it. And so what's important is what you do with it in the off season. And as I've told our guys quite a bit, you just can't expect that kind of success to happen again. And don't forget how hard you've worked, to have that success. And so you just can't let the fact that you had success last year start to seep into your mind that it's just automatically going to happen. And, the kids we have, they've worked hard. They've been trying to find avenues to play, as all kids have throughout the state, and do that. And their games have grown, and they just want to find out how good they are against some other teams. And they just want to play, but we're real fortunate to have some talented pieces coming back. We just have to put it together in a short amount of time and build that same chemistry that we had last year. We had tremendous senior leadership last year, even though we had 2 seniors, and we have to find that same level of commitment to our team that we had last year. And we have great kids, and it'll just be a work in progress, as it is for all teams.
The MCC can be a meat grinder of just talent. And last year, you guys come out of the league, and I know you guys reclassed this year up to 4A. But what do you make of the league? You have, Chiawana brings most of their team back from last year. You have, some talent up and down the league. In a year where you guys are going to be playing a league schedule, I know in football they had you know, a lot of parity, and those games really meant something. What do you see? How do you see it shaking up in the MCC?
I think it'll probably be very similar to what we saw in the, you know, as you watch the college basketball season. When you play that many games that often, it's hard to emotionally be ready to play. And I think that there's going to be some challenges for kids and for teams to be ready to go every single night. And if you're not ready to go, I think there's going to be some scores that you might, you know, normally look at and question, like, wow, how did that happen? And I think being ready to play is going to be a huge challenge emotionally for kids, and being ready to go. And yeah, you know, we have a talented league. You know, whenever you play in the eastern side of the state in the 4A division, you know that if you can come out of that side, you know that you have a chance to win the whole thing. That doesn't mean you will, but you know that you have a chance based upon the history of, you know, the last 10 years or so, to play for it or get close. And so, you know, we were looking forward to the challenge of playing and taking our team and playing in the 4A division. However, you know, we won't be able to get to play against Spokane, but our league is going to present plenty of challenges. You know, I mean, obviously, as you said, Chiawana has everybody back. Richland's always improving, and Walla Walla has a really nice crew coming back also. And, you know, so many of the other teams in the league, as every coach tells you in every league, has good coaches and good players. You know, I mean, everybody knows each other, so everybody's ready to play and will be up for each game.
Coach Andy kind of asked you about the depth of the league, and I've heard the same from another number of other coaches that I've talked to about the MCC. But I don't think that people on the West Side understand at times just how good the MCC and the GSL are. Can you kind of give us a little bit of kind of background stylistically of the league itself and how you compare to some of the teams on the West Side that people might be more familiar with?
Well, you know, I think a lot of times people look at us over here and they see the wheat farms and they see the flat lands and they think of, you know, like a lazy pace and a, you know, kind of just a different way of life. And when in reality, you know, when you watch us and you watch the teams in our league, there's some serious points being scored and people get up and down, and there's a real offensive minded league with people that want to play at a fast tempo. And, you know, we go to the West Side, and obviously there's athletes on the West Side, without a doubt. Our program comes from a world where we're competing against the Kingco and Metro to be successful. And so, you know, that's the kind of pace that we knew we had to play at, to compete at, to play against the best in the state. And so we always wanted to play at that fast of a clip, and so we were ready for it. And others in our league feel the exact same way. And it is a league that has a lot of kids that are pretty prideful about representing the area. There's a lot of coaches when you do go off the state from our area that take a lot of pride and root for each other. And there's a lot of well wishes, because we do want people to know the kind of quality of basketball that's played over here. And, you know, it just has to do with population. You know, because we don't have the population, there's just not that many eyeballs on us. So there's not that as much word of mouth. And, you know, I think if you talk within basketball people throughout the state, I think they're aware of it. I think that maybe the general population isn't as quite as aware of the quality that we have in our league.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. I know you've got to be as excited to get your season started as we've been to host these virtual media sessions with programs across the state. Hopefully your group stays healthy and you guys can chalk up a number of wins, and we look forward to following you. So thanks for joining.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Take care. Thanks so much for doing this. I know anything that gets kids, you know, and people following high school hoops is just an awesome thing. Thanks so much.